What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you just got home from vacation. You're like a fucking world traveler now. Right. Last I knew you were in Hawaii. Where else did you go?
Just went to Hawaii and went to the family reunion.
Oh, where was that?
That was in Memphis.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. See a lot of people that I don't know and I ain't
Yeah, right.
seen. Well,
Yeah, right. That's always nice. Yeah. You want to know? You want to know what's funny?
what's that?
What do you call it? I'm originally from Brooklyn, right? Everybody knows that at this point, but I say that because my other channel, I cover a lot of like mafia history, mafia guys, if mafia interviews. So I'm always trying to come up with more content, right? Oh yeah, okay, let me I think of this guy. So I was thinking about doing this guy, covering this guy named his nickname was Gas Pipe because his I think he used to use a gas pipe to beat people, or his dad used to use a gas pipe to beat people. Anyway, it doesn't matter, right? But I'm like, wait, long story short, a lot of the people that I'm covering now that were big, like in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, like I knew relatives. So, like this guy Anthony Casso, before he was a captain, was his boss was Sal Finari, and I'm like, I went to high school with fucking Sal, right? Not Sal Finari. I went to high. His name was Chris Finari. I went to high school with Sal, which was his son. It's like I went to high school with Sal, and I just fucking call him and see if he'll do an interview about his father, because his father Dink died in jail. So I just texted him, and then like there was another guy named Carmine Persico, and he was the boss of the Colombo crime family. I'm like, I went to high school with Desiree, his granddaughter. So I'm like, I am trying reached out to her
You
because
know everybody there.
because that neighborhood and in Brooklyn during that time, the 17, it was entrenched in mafia. It was everywhere. They had their fingers in everything. So I'm like, oh shit, I've totally fucking forgot. Let's see, we got Phil and Jason. There we go. Anyway, so it was just funny because I was good friends with Sal too. So I just messaged him. Maybe he'll message me back for the other channel. Big Bad Phil.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man? What's going on?
I'm doing good, bro.
You look good, that's for sure.
What's
I see
going
a
on,
little.
big bro?
What's up, Bo? What's up,
Ain't
man?
much.
Where's Luca
And
Man at?
I don't know. I messaged him. We'll see if he comes on. And Dorian, we're waiting for Dorian and Jay's coming in as we speak.
Okay.
So you're not doing the Legion, Bo. You
Yo,
decided
what's up,
to.
boys?
What's up,
Like
Jay?
I'm be like I'm still training for it, but like cause I done spent too much money, man.
Oh yeah.
From the shows to Hawaii, then
Yeah.
family reunion, like I spent too much money.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So fuck it. Wait till next year. Do what you gotta do. And
Yeah, that was
take,
gone
you
and
know.
off.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds retirement, Phil.
Oh
Ugh.
man, retirement. It ain't gonna really sink in honestly until next year. Everybody's asking me. I mean, I already competed this year, so I
Yeah.
don't think everything's gonna sink in um next year. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But my strength went straight to shit. You know what? It's crazy when listen, it's crazy, right? When you how the brain operates. Like the minute you say I retire, well, everything just goes, now I feel old. Like everything just like
yeah, yeah. But you're still, they're still working. Hi, Patty.
yeah, you see her peeking, she says, what are you gonna say?
I want to tell you something.
Go
I'm
ahead.
Phil's training partner,
Uh-huh.
and he told me, "Man, I feel like I'm natty." So I said, "Well, welcome to the real world, mother effer."
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I can only imagine. But you're still working and you're still training. So
Yeah,
like you said, the
yeah.
only thing that you're really not doing is, I'm sure you're probably still eating clean. So
Yeah. She said she thought the prepping would stop, but no, I'm still eating, 5, 6 meals a day. I
yeah,
just cut down on the protein. I brought the protein down because I don't need high protein anymore.
right.
But that's it.
Yeah, as
You,
long
you
as the
know,
carbs stay all right, the protein come down.
it's not like you're retired from your full-time job and you're like, boy, you know, you retired from bodybuilding. It's just like completely different, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I'm gonna buy a house and, you know, in Florida and retire and go hang out with my grandkids. Although I pretty much just summed up your life, didn't I? So maybe you are fucking retired. Yo, Big J, what's up?
Going on?
What are we talking about today? Okay. We
What's
could
going
talk
on, Jay?
How are you, Bo?
All right, all right.
Dude, when was
Um,
that? When was that picture? I don't know if I saw. If you message, what are you thinking of doing? I know you asked our feedback. You thinking of moving up a class, or you thinking of competing again this year?
No, I'm done for this year. I'm just trying to stay. I ain't gonna get too much out of shape
there's Luke.
from now and next year. I'm just gonna try to stay within a good striking range, but improve
you-
all over. Yeah.
What did you weigh at the last show?
I think I was 211 at Atlanta, and I was about 209 at Chicago.
All right, so you got a couple pounds there you'll work with.
Mm-hmm.
Luke.
Yo,
Oh, there you go. I was gonna tell you, Luke, shut the light off for 1 second. Shut the light off for 1 second. Go ahead, shut it off. All right. Oh, there we can see you now. You're smiling.
Luke, you should have never fell for that. What he said,
man, I
I knew
knew,
something was
I
going
knew
on.
it was coming. I knew it was coming. That's the old high school jokes. I knew it was coming.
You guys are fucked up. I got fucked up friends, bro. Oh shit. How you doing, Luke?
I'm doing all right, man.
Yeah. How's training coming? How's prep coming? Because Bo decided he's not gonna do the Legion, so you don't have to worry about
Oh
Bo.
man, I was looking forward to seeing them too, man. Shit.
I saw Luke over the weekend, and Luke is looking fucking big, dude, and in
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah, I'm training hard. I'm training hard. The intensity's still there, and I evidently did so well with my diet in the off season, because usually around this time I'm carb cycling. I haven't even started doing that yet. So
How much more time we got to the Legion?
6 weeks.
Oh, it's gonna go by like that, man. It really is. It's gonna go
Yeah.
by like that. Yeah, absolutely. And you're gonna make.
Not when you're dieting, it doesn't.
Yeah. I know. I
It
know.
drags on, dude. Every
Yeah.
fucking day is longer than the next.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a couple of things to talk about. We don't have to talk about low blicker. That's my whole thing.
Oh, dude, what happened? Did you?
I did a live feed talking about what is happening. He's supposed to come on tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
We'll see what happens, but
Right.
you know, he's supposed to. Oh, there's Dorian. We got the whole crew in today. Yeah, so I did a live feed yesterday, just talking about why I'm having him on and why I dislike him and so on and so forth. But
But he's still coming on your show after you said that?
yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Right.
After I called him low blicker,
Freaking Dave Palumbo, when I was listening to the whole thing,
You went in.
I said, Patty, I've never seen Dave go in like this. I mean, he's going in hard.
Yeah, it
You know?
sounds like
Dave off.
Sounds like it's personal.
Dave didn't even go that hard with Ciccarello when he pissed him off.
Yeah. Well, Arman Deb, I didn't know this. Arman Deb is very good friends with Dave. They just came back from Mexico together, and Dave trained him to do another show. And they're very good friends with Dave. And so he defended him, and rightfully so. If anybody, talk shit about any one of you guys, I would defend you too, right?
Even me?
But I don't know about you, man.
Even me.
But it goes a little deeper because
I'll let that one slide.
it goes a little deeper because apparently Arman, they didn't say it. They talked about it on RX Muscle, but they didn't say it explicitly. But one of the other guests that he has on RX Muscle, this guy Larry all the time, said that Arman is battling some demons. Now, I don't know what those demons are. I don't know if it's drugs. I don't know if it's alcohol. I don't know if it's mental issues. I don't know if it's a divorce. But somebody, Go
had
ahead.
a drug addiction back in the day.
Yeah. So somebody in the comment section said that he was battling painkillers, drug addicted to painkillers. So apparently he's still going back and forth and still battling it. So it probably really hit a nerve when Lobliner, sorry, went after Arman Deb. It probably hit a nerve because Arman doesn't really, he don't talk shit about anybody, he just kind of goes about his business. And if you know that your friend is like really having some serious issues and like somebody else like attacks him, it probably hit a nerve. What's up, Dorian?
Hey, guys.
So,
What's
Dave,
going on, Dory?
Where's Mark? Where is he?
Yeah,
He's coming up.
Yeah, no, he's coming out
What
tomorrow.
the fuck are we gonna
supposedly.
talk about now?
Yeah, I know. We got to talk about bodybuilding now. This is bullshit. So I just did a live feed talking about everything and so on and so forth. And he's supposed to come on tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Anyway, aside from that gossip and all that crap, bodybuilding. It sounds like okay. A couple of things. I don't know why. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I am so underwhelmed with Hunter Labrada and his progress pics. I know he's doing Italy. I still don't know if Neckzilla is doing Italy or not. I don't think so. Isn't? Yeah. So he pulled out of Italy. But is it me? Because I am just so underwhelmed with his progress pics. The lack of muscle separation, his midsection doesn't look good. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm screwed up. What do you guys? Did you see it? I'll pull him up.
I'm gonna tell you though, Hunter got a physique that, like the last 2 weeks of the show, you got to watch, cause his physique will change real fast though.
Is that what it is?
He gonna come in condition. That's one thing for sure.
You might be right because he does tend to look better on stage, but which is the complete opposite. Like here it is. You guys could see this, right? Kind of like this is 2 weeks out. When is the Italy Pro? 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I'm kind of underwhelmed with his conditioning here. Like it doesn't look like. It looks like he's got another 4 to 6 weeks to go.
Well, I don't think they're going to really peak him completely for this show. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't think he has the level of competition he needs to worry about because structure alone. I saw him in Tampa last year, and he was fucking insane. And the way he looked at Tampa, and then the way he looked at Texas, he totally didn't look that way at the Olympia. Something fell off. But I think he's gonna come in right where he needs to be just to win the show, and then
peak for the Olympia.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You hit the nail on the head. Jay, what do you think? Hello, Jay. Oh, there he is. What do you think, Jay?
I mean, Hunter's Hunter. It's tough to say with him, dude, because I expect so much from him just because he has tremendous potential. But this is 2 weeks out.
Yeah. I think Phil hit the nail on the head. I don't know if you know what Phil said.
Yeah, I did. I don't know if I agree with that because dude, it's still a show, and you don't know who's going to show up. And just because nobody's there doesn't mean you could take it lightly, or doesn't mean you should take it lightly, or come in subpar. And he's really subpar here. Have
you really seen him come in? In all his shows, he looks exactly. I don't think.
Yeah, and Phil, I think he's going to deliver. That's right. Phil's right. He's going to deliver the exact Hunter Labrada, conditioning that we've seen time and time again that he just can't seem to nail. And I mean, traveling to Italy, to come in like this doesn't make any sense to me. Might as well fucking stay home and do it,
Right.
I mean, if he was looking to make a run and do all these shows, okay. But dude, he's had a year,
Right,
he's had a year to get his shit together. And his lower back looks good here. And the detail in his lower lats that always seems to kind of disappear from him in the end. It seems like it's withstanding. He looks full. He looks, from a physique point of view, he looks great. But I think he's going to deliver the same, condition.
What is the deal with his midsection? You know, like he has that little pouch.
Looks like he's on the
bottom.
borderline of an extended hernia.
Oh,
there's that bulge in that whole midsection there that
right.
It looks like he's got an umbilical hernia going on there. So
and
he's gonna need some surgery in the near future.
Yeah, is that what it is, Phil? Yeah, that makes sense.
Is that what Phil Heath had?
I don't know.
Phil, man, his stomach, he just couldn't pull it in. He had some serious problems going on with his midsection. So I think Phil had more than a umbilical surgery because they had to pull linings and all kinds of stuff going on in his stomach.
Dorian, chime in here. What do you think, man? I'm just underwhelmed with his progress.
Well, I think Hunter, he's one of those unassuming bodybuilders because all his body parts are huge, massive, and nothing really stands out because he's pretty balanced for the most part. And, you know, trying to be critical of where he is with this video, I mean, he's 2 weeks out and he should be pushing to get his conditioning right and his body fat right. Therefore, he should be flat. So 2 weeks out is never any bodybuilder's best look generally. And if it is, they're missing their peak.
Okay.
So
all right.
I think, you know, he might be underwhelming in your opinion, just because he should be flat and he shouldn't have too much energy. He probably just doesn't have that pop that he needs to his muscle right now. And he's still got a layer of fat to lose.
Right.
Plus also look where he posing it. Like y'all know, once that light hits you without that tan, you're gonna look crazy in a way.
Yeah, he's really pale. His complexion is really pale.
Yeah, you ain't gonna see the lines and stuff that you seeing when he got that tan on.
You know, everything that you guys say makes perfect sense. Everything makes sense because when he does show up, he does look impressive. I'm just.
He bald?
It looks like it looks like he shaved his head. Everything you said makes sense. The lighting, the no tan, the fact that he's probably not going to peak until the Olympia.
But he's still got that layer on his glutes that he always has. And you would think at this point, dude, you got to make sure those fucking things are in by 2 weeks out. You know, you can't hope for a miracle and pray that it's going to come in the night before. Like that, he's got to be more focused on, and he's not.
Right. I'll give him this much.
There.
Yeah, let's go to the other one. This was a week ago. This one. Let's go to the other one. This one. I'll give him this much. His rear double bi looks like it improved from last year. I'll give him that much. When he turns around and he hits that rear double bi, it does look like it has improved. But this just throws me off. Like that little pouchy possible hernia thing, just that kills me.
Well, this looks like it's a week ago.
This is a week ago, yeah.
So he's 2 weeks out now from this. So this was 3 weeks out?
This is 3 weeks out.
All right, that gives him a little more room, but even so, dude, I know guy. I mean, look at Nick Walker 3 weeks out. The guy could fucking walk on stage, you know, like.
Yeah, that's what you expect to see. Or are they trying to keep him as full as possible, like Bo said, until the last 2 weeks, and then he drops it, and he's a different person.
My glutes don't come in until 2 weeks out. You'll never see my glutes is never great, and that's with 18 weeks of dieting. That's just me. But once I hit different. Week 2, some people they'll come in faster than others. I mean, if you're I don't want to say a smaller built guy, but if you don't have like a big ass where there's a lot of fat back there, a lot of people glutes will come in much faster. So it depends, one, on the genetics and how much fat you're carrying behind there. Some people need more time than others, you know?
Yeah, but Phil, you've had glutes. You have them practically every show. You know they're going to come in.
Oh, yeah. But what I'm saying is mine's come in 2 weeks out.
Yeah, but he's 3 weeks out here and still doesn't have them, and he's never had them on stage.
Yeah. No.
So you would think at this point, it'd be a priority to make sure your glutes are in early, so you don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I get it with you but you get them.
He's still working with Chow too, Ben Chow. For the life of me, I don't understand. I don't know why he's still working with Ben Chow. I mean, not that Ben Chow is a bad coach, but if you're Hunter Labrada, you have the pick of the bunch. You could have any one of the great coaches, and if you're just if your conditioning and your progress is stagnant, You know, maybe it's time to switch up.
What was that post for him and Hony?
What happened?
Take this off and go to his front page.
Okay, let me see.
With him and Hony there.
Yeah, I know. Oh, well, maybe, I don't know. This was.
No, they did a podcast together.
Oh, is that what it was?
Hony's been with a lot of people. The Giant Killer. He's been with. I think some people just likes his gym, and they go there.
That was 3 days ago, though. Look at his glutes there.
This was. Well, he might have.
No, that was posted like this.
Yeah, because this was Texas, so he might have posted it 3 days ago. Yeah. But this was during the Texas show. You know, I don't know. Like, you know what it is with him? It just feels like. I think Jay's right. It feels like he's got all the potential in the world, but he's not digging into that talent as of yet.
Well, probably the judges ain't telling him. The judges probably just telling him, "Hey, just come in tight." We don't know what the judges. His dad is, his dad's LeBron. So
that's a good point.
To me, no disrespect to Hunter. I mean, his dad was a whole different being.
Oh, absolutely.
And now Hunter's in a different generation with so much more muscles required, where he's not going to have that structure his dad had. It's impossible with this size. So, but when you have that lineage of your father, same thing with what's his name?
Sergio.
Yes. When it's just they automatically going to put you in the top just because. Which I know that's not fair. So probably that's why he won't push himself harder, because he still has that to fall on. I don't know. I'm just.
Well, no. Hey, listen. At the same time, Lee Labrada might be able to get some inside scoop because he is Lee Labrada, and the coaches might be look. If he comes in, 90%, we're going to give it to him because we want him on that Olympia stage.
Right.
It could very well be that. I mean, let's not sit here and say that these guys, these heavyweights like Lee Labrada don't have pull. I mean, they have pull. It is his son, and I don't know what kind of person Lee Labrada is, if he's going to make Lee work hard for it, or maybe he tells him, not that the Lee doesn't work hard, but what I mean by that is if he does have some inside information, he might tell his son and say, listen, this is what you got to do, this is what they told me, this is the feedback. Or he might not sell his son anything and see if he does it on his own. You don't know the situation. I'm also guessing that Lee has inside information. I'm only saying that because he's Lee Labrada. Sorry, Jay, go ahead.
Lee doesn't get involved with his training. They have a little bit of a detached relationship when it comes to that.
Okay.
And look. If Lee had insight, we've had the past 4 years of this not happening. So it's not a matter of Lee coming in and putting his foot down and say, look, Hunter, you're my son. I want the best for you. I'm sure that approach has already been taken, but there is a disconnect between the two. And they're, from my understanding, they're together for business reasons with Labrada Nutrition. But Hunter's on his own when it comes to his training and his diet, nutrition, his prep, his coaching, and so forth. Not that I don't think Lee would be a huge asset, but Lee's been out of the game for a long time too, and it's a different
animal now. Yeah,
it's a different animal now. But there's no excuse here. There's just no excuse here.
The Ben Chow thing throws me off because Ben Chow is not an established trainer who has trained people at that level. This is a guy that basically Hunter and him get along, and he's like, yeah, train me. Like if I'm at his level and I'm in the top 5, top 6, top 10 at the Olympia, whatever the case may be, I want a guy who is already established, has worked with guys at this level, knows what to do, what tweaks to do, is not nervous about training people for the Olympia. I don't know. The Ben Chow thing just throws me off. It's not like Ben has a stable, I don't know anybody else who trains besides Hunter.
I know Ben Chow. I'm not going to say, I think Ben Chow, because some of his athletes come in freaking peeled. I think it's just an athlete. I don't think I can't always give 100% blame on coaches, because you can get a top-notch coach and still not come in shape because you may not follow everything they tell you to do, right?
Absolutely.
So
yeah, I agree.
Hunter's issue was eating. And I think a lot of that is affecting his stomach as well, possibly with the hernia. He had issues with eating solid food. He did more shakes than food, and that's why he was coming really watery the past previous years. So now he's starting to eat solid foods. The thing that I may understand with Ben Chow is, if Hunter says something, Ben may not fight him on it. That is the issue when you're good, close friends and tight with your coach, where if my coach say, hey, Phil, this is what I need you to do, I'm going to relate. As long as it's nothing that's going to hurt my health, I'm going to relate. I'm going to do what I need to do. Drop the carbs, anything I need to do. So this is nutrition. This is food. Why he's not 100% where he's at right now. And that could be, one, he may possibly not follow the full instructions, or probably Ben is probably a little bit lenient with him that he would be with his other clients.
He's worked with other trainers. Hunter's worked with other trainers before, and his condition, like with what Phil just said, like at a certain point, you can't blame the coaching anymore. Because when he switched over a couple of years ago from having all those liquid meals to solid food meals, you could tell, dude, there was a difference in the type of muscle he was putting on. However, his conditioning never changed. So at some point, I think Phil's right that maybe Hunter does whatever Hunter wants to do, and he's got these coaches that are more yes men than really hard nosed. Look, dude, fuck you, do this or find somebody else, because you're representing me when you're on that stage. So
it could very well be. I never thought of that. Right. I never thought of the actual relationship between the two. But you're 100% right. And again, I the only thing I could relate it to, right, is when you see Phil could relate to this. When you see a boxing coach that has like a number one contender, and he's along for the ride, and he's basically going to do whatever it takes just to make sure that he gets that paycheck and let his athlete do what he wants. But then you got the Teddy Atlases that are like, no, you're doing what I want you to do, or else I'm not training you, and that's it. And it could very well be the same way with bodybuilding, where you have certain coaches that are hard-nosed and be like, it's my way or the highway. And you might have coaches that are like, hey, look, man, it's cool. Just we'll do what we need to do. And, they're not pushing him because he's his boy or because he doesn't want to bite the hand that feeds him. All these things come into play. We don't realize it. What's up, Luke? You're back.
Yeah, I've been here.
All right. The other guy, the other person I want to talk about is Brandon. Apparently, Brandon is doing the Olympia. He hasn't put much progress picks up. I don't think he has. Is this from this? This is recent. Okay, this was
on to Brandon. Check this out.
Good.
A lot of people in the industry that do bodybuilding don't want an out of town coach.
Say that again.
A lot of people that do bodybuilding, don't want an out of town coach. They want a coach that can see them every day or every week. You know what I'm saying? A hands-on coach.
That's true too.
So we got to also look at that, because I remember when Hunter won Tampa that year, me and Hunter had the same coach.
Yeah.
Oh, who was the coach?
Andrew Vu.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
From that area. So
you're right. You're right. And Ben does live in Texas. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah,
you want a hands-on coach. Everybody don't want that out of town coach.
Yeah, these are all factors that go into play that nobody thinks about. You're right. This is all things that go into play, except that the thing is, when you're on stage and your finished product is your finished product, the athlete is going to take it on the chin. So all these things that go behind backstage that we don't hear about, it better be dealt with beforehand, because all these little things are going to affect your progress, and people are going to say, hey, Hunter isn't filling his full potential, or vice versa. Hunter is doing a great job, whatever the case may be. But yeah, all these little things, they definitely take, I don't care what anybody says. Those things definitely could possibly, when you have a coach that is hands-on with you every day, so on and so forth, or a coach that, that lives on the other side of the world, and you got to send them pictures. It's a big fucking difference, man.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
All right. So, Brandon, the only thing I want to say is, do you think he's going to still be in the top 5? Because last year he came in 4th. There was no Nick, and Andrew Jack was not as good as he is this year. And there's a lot of new guys coming up.
I think it's a possibility. I mean, the only people that's different is Nick. Nick is in, right?
Yeah.
So we can't really say Antonio and Martin Fitzwater and all that. We got to look at the lineup that was already there.
Okay.
And it's going to be pretty much the same with Nick in it. You know, top 5, top 6 is going to be pretty much the same.
Right.
Right. So he made it. I think he took 3rd. Was it 3rd he took or 4th?
He took 4th.
Right. And that's with being in the hospital, no food, and hooked up to whatever. And he still came in and took 4th. Right. So if he has now he doesn't have the same coach. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, they're both named Abdul, by the way.
No, I'm not like, look, it ain't. We gonna chat on our chat about this one. I'm gonna tell y'all about this.
Good.
Not on here though, but on our little chat.
Oh, you don't want to reveal. You don't want to reveal any secrets. Okay. I don't know if Brandon is going to be able. He's another year older. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to the top 5 this year because Nick Walker wasn't there this year, and let's face it, Andrew Jack is much improved from last year, and those are the 2 biggest factor Brandon has to deal with to stay in the top 5. Those 2 guys right there. If I have to bet on it, I say he drops out of the top 5, but I might be dead wrong. I don't know. You never want to see.
I got to see his progress pictures as he gets closer.
Yeah, he doesn't put much up.
I mean, yeah, structurally, I mean, he's Mr. Olympia. If he comes in like he's supposed to come in, I mean, Nick is great. Nick is great. He's killer conditioning, but remember, he don't have the prettiest structure. I mean, if they're going to put Nick, and let's say he takes 6, let's say he takes 6, and let's say assume, which I don't see it, but everybody's saying it's going to be a battle between Nick, Hody, and freaking Derek because of the shorter structure and the muscle density. I don't believe that's going to be the case. I think the big change is going to be between Andrew and Samson. Andrew has an opportunity now to take out Samson. We'll see. If that happens, I don't know if Nick is going to fall in. And I'm not being disrespectful. I love Nick, but I just don't know. The year he was out, it was a high probability. That was his chance. But now the lineup is, I don't know. It's a little different. Even if
Phil, you know how it is, Phil.
Yeah.
Like we can post all the pictures that we want of how we look before the show and this and that. But we still got to put them carbs in us and everything else, and your body will change. So to say he could have won Olympia that year, I don't know if he could have. You know what I'm saying? Because look at it. You taking pictures while you drive or straight out the sun or something like that right there. Remember that you still got to go through that loading phase. If you miss that loading phase up, I can't say he would have won. Then they talk about
You're right. I've always preached that people could show pictures. They always show up different on stage. So that's 100% right.
And okay, say Nick will be battling for top 3. That ain't a possibility true. They always say Brandon got to bring his legs up. Nick's legs really ain't no better than Brandon's legs.
Yeah.
If we want to be be real about it, his legs ain't no better. And when Brandon got the prettiest physique if we gonna go by the shape and symmetry. You know what I'm saying? With a small waist. So how would that turn out?
Yeah, you're 100% right. The only thing is Nick has more muscle than anybody on that stage. So he could out-muscle his way past Brandon if Brandon is getting a little bit too old and doesn't come in like he used to. But you're right, he does have a prettier physique. But Dorian was at the New York Pro, so I want Dorian's input. How much do you think the fact that Nick almost lost the New York Pro scared the shit out of him to make his improvements that he needs to make at the Olympia?
Going back to, talking about is Brandon going to be in the top 5?
All right.
I really going to be a matter of, is Nick going to be in the top 5? I think if Nick's going to be in the top 5, Brandon's out, and vice versa. I think that's how it's going to go. I don't really think Nick was all that far off, really, a New York Pro. He just got pushed. He got pushed by somebody who they didn't expect to push him. So they showed vulnerability. But But I guarantee you, the way Nick is, he'll be ready for the Olympia. But the question is he good enough to beat Brandon Curry? If that's the case, he'll be top 5.
Yeah. Yeah. I think because I saw Nick at the New York Pro, and you could tell during the prejudging after he came out, and everybody's talking, oh, Martin might have it, you never know, blah blah blah. You could tell because I was talking to his parents and I was hanging out with his parents, and he came over and he goes, "We got to go, let's go." And they just left. So you could tell that Nick was a little bit nervous. He wasn't hanging out talking to people. He left and he had to take care of business or whatever he had to do to show up for the finals. That being said, what I mean is he has a really great coach. And I think that whatever he needs to do, he's probably going to do to bring his best at this year's Olympia. But that doesn't mean that Brandon can't still pull ahead of him with his physique, with his beautiful physique, like Bo said. I'm just saying that, in my opinion, I think the fact that everybody thought this was going to be a slam dunk for New York with Nick wasn't. That was a little bit of a reality check for him.
Yeah.
What do you think, Luke? You were there.
If I think that Brandon comes in conditioned with his size and everything, he can still beat Nick. He can still push Nick out.
Yeah,
that's what I think. That it's not Nick's fault. It's just the way that he flows. Brandon's flow is better.
And that's going to be the tough part for Nick, because everybody in that top 5, their flow, their structure is better than Nick's. Yeah. Derek, Hody, Andrew, Samson, and Brandon. And his strengths are his conditioning and his mass. Him breaking the top 2, I just don't see. Because now you're talking about, did you see the Derek back workout that he put up today?
That's nasty.
I mean, he might have the best back in bodybuilding history at this point. Like it's
no.
No.
We ain't gonna get on that one now.
Okay.
No.
Youngsters.
He's gonna stop it right there.
Yeah. He's gonna shut it down. All right.
History.
Let me say.
Y'all remember that the best back belonged to who?
Right.
Cole.
Stubbs, Joel Stubbs.
We got Ronnie
Joe
Cole.
Stubbs. Yeah, Joe Stubbs had that boy had a back.
Look at this. I mean, look at this.
Back, dude.
Look at this back, though, dude. I mean, this is insane.
Yeah, but I'll hit you up on our private message about that back there. But we're talking. No, trust me, Bo's right. He don't have the best.
Okay, I'm sorry, Jesus.
Look at that back right there. And just think about the back that looked like that. Johnny Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
Johnny Jackson.
Oh, he just said Janet Jackson.
Ronnie Jackson.
Yeah, no. Johnny Jackson had a great back. His issue was always his legs. He could never bring his legs up good enough to be. Yeah, he had a Mr. Olympia back. But Derek's back is so thick from the and it flows all the way down. His lats go all the way.
Great back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, but let's in
Derek's.
Derek's
We're gonna say back right now in this generation. Yes, Derek's back is, but he's not the best back in no.
All right, but he's in the conversation. Put it that way.
Yeah. He in that conversation.
Okay, and I don't know if anybody's going to be able to take him out because he's very young. He's in his early 30s. Right? Is he 30, 31? And he's only getting better. His waist is still small. It's not blown out. His back,
but he has to come around. He has to be, his front has to look like his back shots. That's where he's vulnerable. His chest, he don't get that Hody Chupon.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So he's Mr. Olympia. I'm on his side. I give him my vote. But he has his work cut out for him this year. And unless he has everything put in place, it's not about size and thickness all the time. You know what I mean? You got to come in, saran wrap. His back from his glutes up is insane.
Yeah.
But his side and his front shots have to be the same.
You're right. You're right. Because Hottie's not playing this year.
No.
Hottie's a big. That's why Hottie did those two Arnolds. He was proving a point. He didn't have to do those two Arnolds. He did those Arnolds because he proved the point. He was like, nah, I'm still the best in the world, and I'm going to go to America. I'm going to take that title home with me to prove that I'm still the best in the world.
Have we ever saw any top Olympian do that? No.
Yeah, you're right. I know Ronnie did do the Arnold at one point, but it wasn't to prove a point.
Was it two of them?
No, not in a row. Well, look, Kai did 3 in a row when he lost to Phil. Those were his last 3 shows before he retired.
Yeah,
he never won any of the Olympia. It was well, he did the USA. It was Australia and Brazil, right? I believe it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And it was all 3 of them, and then he never competed again. So he was trying to make a statement there too. But Hottie's coming for blood. There's no question about it. He's coming for blood. So I think this is going to be all this being said, this is going to be a great Olympia because all these guys think they have something to prove. Samson, he lost the Arnold Classic. Hottie lost the Olympia. Nick got really pushed at the New York Pro, and people are already talking to him. A lot of people are already counting him out of the top 5. He said it on his own Instagram. He wasn't in there last year. Derek has to hold on to that title because he knows that Hottie's coming for blood. This is going to be like an all-out war of an Olympia because these top 5, 6 guys are not taking this lightly.
Nah, and this the best I done seen Samson though. Samson look good.
Yeah, Samson.
He's at his best.
Samson at his best right now. I be talking to him, you know what I'm saying, like every day now. And trust me when I tell y'all, Samson on his stuff.
Yeah, Samson looks good, man. But let's see, because he put up a new progress pic too.
Like his back looked like it got a face on it when he hit that shot.
Yeah, I think what's the problem is like he's definitely going to come in harder than last year. You could already see his glutes and his hamstrings coming in, and as great as
this is him prepping for the Olympia.
Yeah, this was about a week ago.
If I may, so he's how many weeks after the Olympia? Was it 6, 7?
Something like that. When is the Olympia?
Right? No, 8 weeks.
About 8
weeks.
Okay. So look at how serious Samson's taking this.
Right.
Everything's in. And not to keep shitting on Hunter, because I think the world of the guy, and I think he has all this potential, but he's a couple weeks out from a show, and he's nowhere near this conditioning.
Right. Yeah.
And so if Samson is making strides, which is what you're supposed to do when you're really pushing to make a difference. And I don't see that fight in everybody.
Man, let me tell you something. He's a Nigerian king. His genetics is ridiculous. If you looked at Martin, his guest posing, Martin don't look like he's going to be ready at all.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Martin looks watery, big time.
So it's crazy. Everybody's just different, but I know Martin's going to show up in shape. That I do know. He has not done that. But I'm just saying, like, people just approach shows. My thing is, if you're looking on point, 8 weeks, 7 weeks, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, looking great, how your body's going to hold up as it gets closer in the shows? Is it going to stay sharp? Being too great too soon, I don't think that's a positive. That's my personal opinion.
I think it'll depend.
Look at Akeem, though. Look what Akeem be doing. Akeem don't be ready 6, 7 weeks out from show.
Yeah.
Them last 3 weeks, his body changed.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it comes down to the individual. I think it definitely comes down to the individual. So, but what I mean by that is, though, I think it comes down to all things being equal. If they're all putting 100% effort in, then it comes down to the individual knowing their body. Like somebody like Akeem knows that he's got to hold on to that big muscle, and then 3 weeks out, that's when he dials it in. Somebody like Samson, I think, realizes my whole issue is coming in peeled, especially from the back. So then I have to really start grinding, 8 weeks
Earlier.
out, 10 weeks out. Yeah. And I think, but with Hunter, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case where it's like, I know my body and with Hunter, it might be. And again, I'm guessing this lackadaisical approach,
It can't be I know my body because he doesn't. He hasn't dialed it in right. So he doesn't know his body.
100% right, man.
And his coaches don't know his body.
The bend thing fucking drives me crazy. I just
point is, this is the approach he should be taking. Right. Samson, and Phil, you're right. Everybody's different. Some people, the longer you're in shape, the worse it could be in the long run. But Samson, he needs to tighten it up a little bit, and he has from show to show. But now he's pushing it. Now he's really, I got a shot for the big O. I'm fucking pushing it. And like I said, dude, we don't see that fight in everybody.
Yeah, no, I agree. Luke, well, what do you think? You think that's accurate, or do you think it's more about everybody's a little bit different, or do you think that Hunter's just a little lackadaisical?
Well, I think I agree. I agree pretty much 100% with what Jason is saying, because he's 2 weeks out. He should be looking a lot better than that, in my opinion. And then on top of that, you got to know. I mean, your name. You got to show up. That says it in itself.
Yeah.
You don't have no choice but to show up. If you're gonna do this sport and you have that name, that legacy, you got to show up every time. It can't be sometimes. It can't be. No, you got to show up, because that's what we're expecting. Everyone's going to expect nothing less of that.
I agree with that, because when no matter what sport or whatever thing you're in, when your father is great, if you follow his footsteps, you better be fucking great, because they're always going to be comparing you to him, But Dorian, what do you think, man? Do you think it's the case? Do you think Hunter basically needs to do what you do and just do more shows, and then fucking by the time he comes to the Olympia, he's peaked? What do you think?
Well, I talked to Hunter when I was in Texas. There's a couple of interesting things. This is a shorter prep for him than he normally does. He says he normally does like over 20-week preps, sometimes up to 30 weeks for a prep. And he's not doing it that long. So it's a little different. And another thing, how many shows has Hunter done? I remember by the time he got to the Olympia, he did 4 shows and he won every show he's ever done. Mm-hmm. And he's maybe done 4 or 5 more since then. So he's done 10 shows. So you're right. He doesn't have that experience in terms of peaking himself. It's hard to learn your body in 10 shows. I've done 70 shows and I'm still learning things,
Right.
So I just think he just needs some more experience. He's a young guy. In relation to what you're talking about with his midsection earlier, I think because when he was younger, he still doesn't have like a full man structure. And now he's like maturing. And I think he's getting larger in the midsection. It's just part of growing as a bodybuilder. So I think he's just kind of hitting that age. And also, he just needs some more experience with more shows. That being said, I mean, we're criticizing a guy who's top 7 in the world.
Yeah. I wish somebody was criticizing me like that. Yeah,
right. Awesome. Like I said, he could use some more experience.
I think Jay might agree with me with this. He does, let's say he did 12 shows as a professional. Now, you gotta remember when he went pro, he only came in Tampa. No, that was Derek. But he did the same thing. He won a couple shows once he became pro. But if you can't know your body and nail it, I don't think competing. I don't think the more you compete, the more you're going to get to know your body. If you can't get to know your body as a professional after 10 shows or possibly 6 shows, then it's not just you; it's also as well as your coach. I don't think you got to do a lot of shows to know your body, because when he pushed it and did more shows, which was last year, he did 2 shows and he went against the second show he went against Andrew Jack. He looked like complete crap in the Olympia, so he can't do a lot of shows. I don't think he's built for that. He's built for probably 2 shows and then get to the Olympia, but he's just not built to continue to move forward because he has a serious sweating issue on stage as well. That's what really killed him against Andrew Jack. He was battling with Andrew Jack, and then he started sweating. Then he started losing posing because, they were pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. he should know his body by now. If he doesn't know his body by now, I'm sorry. I don't think he's going to ever know it at all by the end of his career. And I don't think with you, it's because you know your body. It's just you implementing the things that Hony, even though me and Patty said the same thing prior, you got all the size in the world. And you know the chemical background. You know all this stuff because you said it. It's just a matter of coming in. With you, it's just dry and shredded. Then shit, you'll be in the fucking top 3 in every show battling for a winning position. But you know your body as well. Just because your placings, the 1 year where that was your best year, I think it was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Yeah, when he broke the top, when he fought at the Olympia, at the New York Pro.
He was like, in a couple of shows he did, he was in the top 5, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, but as you put on size, see, Dorian wasn't as big as he is now. So now you're battling now with the size and making sure you implement now that conditioning. So with Dorian, once he does that, it's game over. He's going to be contending in the top 4, top 3, right?
Agreed.
But with Labrada, I don't know. And it's like you can't say you get disappointed anymore because now everybody expects. Like in the Olympia, I was disappointed. I'm like, he looked nothing like the Texas and the Tampa, nothing like it. So now it's like, okay, we're used to seeing this now. You get what I'm saying? So hopefully, God willing, he pulls it together. Definitely not this show, but I think he's still going to pull out the win here. But he's going to have to step it up to even place in the top 10. That's my opinion.
Let me ask y'all something, right? Check this out. Y'all remember at Pittsburgh, right? Who was the 2 biggest guys on stage at Pittsburgh?
No, Derek and Nick.
No,
Andrew Jack.
Andrew Jack and Hunter
Labrada.
Andrew and Hunter. Remember, this is the first time Hunter ever been over 300 pounds. Been 300 pounds. So we got to take in consideration.
Hunter was over 300 pounds, really?
Hunter was 300 pounds.
Damn.
So think about this. If he's used to doing a longer prep with less muscle or less weight on him, but now he's doing a shorter prep with more on him, how y'all think his body gonna react and his mind gonna be? Because he got more he got to get off in less time.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? So we got to look at it. Know what I'm saying?
I didn't realize he got that big. I didn't realize he got that big this year.
Hunter got big.
Jesus, 300.
I think we're all of us, and I think we're all trying to find a reason. Because I think we expect so much, and this guy really can be one of these top guys, right? But
he got the potential.
Right. But I think the answer is really simple, right? It's as simple as you could possibly put it. Phil made a point about, he doesn't think that doing more shows is going to help. He should know his body by now. The reality is he did more shows last year, and that was my argument. I think when we had him on a couple of years ago, John, I think I pointed out, he said he only did 4 or 6 shows, and he's new at this. And I said, well, dude, you should be attacking this and learning your body, right? So last year he did more shows after taking a full year off, and it didn't help him. He got worse as I thought, he looked good for the first show. He didn't peak right, but he's right there. And then the second show, he was worse. And was there a third show after that, or just the 2?
No, it was just the 2.
All right, so he got worse, and you think, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll push this another week and try to figure this out. He didn't, right? So, and the point that Bo just made, that he's doing a shorter prep with more weight. The problem isn't his weight. The problem isn't, hey, you need to be 300 pounds in the off season. The problem is you need to learn how to dial it in and get it ready for a show, because it doesn't matter how you look in the off season. It's how you look on stage, right? So the simplest reason for this is I don't think he has that will to really push it. He hires coaches that don't hold him accountable, that allow him to either get away with, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it my way, and I need a yes man. And that might not be the right camp for him, but he might not be ready to make that decision yet. He might need to be humbled in Italy, where a lesser guy beats him based upon conditioning, and maybe something like that would set him straight. But when he does decide to really put it forward and dial it in, he's going to be dangerous, and that's what I hope for him. But I think the simplest answer is he just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Who good coach that y'all think that'll be able to bring him in? like he should, though.
Oh, I think Aceto doesn't take any shit off anybody.
No, I don't think it's a coaching issue. I don't think it's these coaches that, hey, they don't know what they're doing, because all these guys have experience and should know at least when you hit a bump in the road, you know how to get over it, right? I think it's a matter of Hunter's not doing the work. He's not attacking it properly. And when he's given a suggestion or told, hey, look, we're going to do it this way, he has a better opinion. Like, he was stuck on those liquid foods until he had a humbling experience. And he said, dude, you're not going to fucking diet for a show and be in shape or put on any muscle in the offseason unless you change that. And he did. So I think he's going to need another humbling experience to really push him in the right direction. But dude, like I said, when he does, he's going to be, a lot to handle.
You know, we don't know who's going to be who's doing Italy. And the truth of the matter is, there's a lot of new talent, and he very well could you very well could see an upset, because nobody saw Mo Fuda coming, nobody saw Martin Fitzwater coming, nobody saw these guys coming, and there very well could be a guy that's very talented that could, because
look at Martin pushing Nick, and Martin was in good conditioning.
Yeah.
Imagine that Martin against Hunter. He'd blow him away.
Exactly. And my point exactly. Absolutely. One more topic before we get going, since we're shitting on people. Neckzilla.
Yeah. We're holding people accountable. We're not shitting on anybody.
Yeah. I'm shitting on him. Sorry. Nobody else is. I'm doing the shitting on. Neckzilla. This is the 4th show this year he pulled out of. At this point, when do we say?
Look, that Jason just gave you the answer to that question.
Yeah, exactly. I know. You're right. Yeah.
He's not games on point.
He's not willing to put the Neckzilla. I just don't think it's here yet. It's not here, and it's not here because he has a damn good coach.
Yeah.
I just don't think they mentioned this on Dennis' podcast, because they're asking Cormier, and he's like, listen, I don't know nothing, man. I don't coach him. I just help everybody out. Because they were saying, Dennis was like, probably he just don't have what it takes. He just did a show, stay on the grind, get tighter, and go into the next one. Why would he skip the next one for, and I think it really comes down to he just don't have it here.
Because if you look at him now, he looks softer now. He got
bigger. He got bigger than last year.
No, he looks softer this week as opposed to when he was, when did he compete? A couple of weeks ago?
They were comparing him and the 212 guy that just
won. Let's see, because I know that they had a video. He's doing shoulders, and I'm like, this guy ain't doing. There's no way he's gonna be.
Ainge Calderon posted.
Yeah, he was next to Calderon. Yeah,
and Ainge are getting off on that.
Where is he? Yeah, they seem to be pretty good friends. These two, Calderon and Neckzilla. I don't see it.
They're side by side doing a lat spread, I think.
No,
it's not that one.
I don't see it. What's his real name? Neckzilla.
Rubio.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh, this is it. This is what I was.
And he young too, though. He ain't number 25, I think.
Yeah, he's a young. He's a young dude. But this wasn't even. This was yesterday. See, he looks softer than he did. He looks smooth. So I don't think he's. Honestly, I think he's done for the year. Yeah, I think he's done for the year. I don't think he's doing anymore.
What's Carlos doing?
That's a really good fucking point. I don't Carlos Thomas Jr. That's really.
I don't think he's competing this year. He wanted to possibly try a late show to come in to possibly win to go into Olympia next year, but I don't think he's doing any shows.
He's another guy that has all the potential in the world, and he hasn't done. You're 100. I totally forgot about him.
Dude, I'm a fan of his, dude.
This was what? Yeah. This was last year? Yeah. This is Texas last year, yeah.
He got all the muscle.
Yeah.
Look at that, dude.
That's insane.
Him and Hassan got all the muscle they need.
There's another guy. Yes, agreed. Yeah. It's just I think there's a couple of things. I think it gets to the point where these guys physically have it. It's gifted, God gifted, and then when they get to a certain point, they have to put the work in. They're not going to win it with just God gifted talent, and doing 50% of the work like they used to. You're at the top of the heap now, and it's like, well, you got to really, put the work in. And I think a lot of them don't want to put the work in. Especially when they start making money, they start getting comfortable. And then I think there are guys like, let's say like Akeem, that it's very difficult for him to come in shape. But when he does put it together, it's lights out, right? It seems like Akeem has learned his body pretty well, but it took him some time. And but it always was very difficult for him to come in that real grainy, hard look. I think that's but I think the majority of it is these younger guys don't want to do work, because when you see the guys that are from the Middle East and you see the guys that are from Eastern Europe, they're not playing around, man.
No, they're hungry though. You understand? They're hungry. They're broke. When you're in that position where, let's say you don't have no sponsors and you got nothing but to grind and make some money, sometimes you get a little bit, you're right, you get comfortable with the money that you have.
That's right.
You don't have nothing to make you want to fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the younger guys, they're also battling a lot of, prepping for shows is not hard for them. Training is not hard. But it's when you get deep prep, your mind starts playing tricks on you. They just can't deal with that. Then the social media hype expecting them to do well, then they're nervous. There's a lot of stuff going to this where sometimes we just need someone in the bodybuilding that's for the athletes, that when this goes down, we have venues to help us. A lot of people don't understand. Yes, the old school bodybuilders, like Arms days, yeah, they're gone. They could go straight in. They got the mentality, that drive, but society is different now with these younger guys. Some of them need that mental side. They need help sometimes. And I think that's what's defeating them, not just with the being comfortable, but when you're talking about Middle Eastern, these guys are broke. They're hungry. They have to fight.
That's right.
When Mo came in that show, his dog just died. He said he was just 100% broke. And Hony helped him to get to Chicago. So he had nothing.
Right.
And he came hungry.
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly. Yeah. Tabani has no clue whether he's going to make it to the Olympia or not, but he's training like he's going to go to the Olympia.
Yeah.
I think it's just a different, just a different animal. But all right, before we go, Dorian, what's the plan, man? Because next year I'm foreshadowing some big things from you next year. What's the plan?
Well, I've been thinking about this, and one thing I love and always loved about bodybuilding ever since I was young, I came from being a small guy to being a huge guy. I respect the muscle. I like the shape. I like the size. I think sometimes as I'm getting ready for a show, I overdo it in terms of like filling out, because I'm more concerned about being big and shapely than I am about being dry and conditioned. Mm-hmm. And everybody's telling me, come in dry and conditioned and you're going to win shows. So I really want to push it this off season. I want to take my time. I want to get bigger than I've been in the last 2 years, because I stayed under 170, right around there the last 2 years. And I've been bigger than that in the past. So I want to push that size. So when I do come down, I still have that size and I don't need to fill up. Mm-hmm. And I can bring that dry appearance with the additional size I put on. I'm going to take my time to let it come on, let it set on me for a while. And when I feel, that phase is over, then I'll move into a cut. I just want it to happen naturally, opposed to setting like deadlines for myself.
Right. So a nice long off season to make that new muscle stick. All right. Yeah, man. It sounds good. All right, fellas, I'm going to call it quits. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for coming on, guys. Great show tonight. And I will see you guys soon. All right. Later.
Peace.
Boys.